Hey everyone, and welcome to PGN Live. It is the start of a new month. Pretty much. Yesterday was March 1st. It is March 2nd, 2026. Happy Monday to you all. I hope you had a good February. I hope you had a nice weekend. February was fast, but it was also eventful. We did have the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. We had Pokemon Presents. Some good stuff happened that month. And that's coming on the heels of the Super Mario Galaxy movie Direct in January. So already a good start to the year with news. And then now, what does March bring us? Bam! Tomorrow, on March 3rd, on the Nintendo Switch 9th anniversary itself, Nintendo will be sharing with us an indie world. So that's pretty cool, Plus, we've got Pokemon Pokopia coming out this week, which it looks like it's quite a solid game because the reviews are out and it's like 89-90 territory. Let's get the pop-out chat open, see who is here. Hang on a second. All right. Who is here? David Patterson, first one in the house, saying, "Afternoon, Paul." Good afternoon, David. Welcome, welcome. Johan Nintendo, World of Warcraft midnight release tonight. Nice. CBH4, what's up? What's up? Hi, Byzantium. Happy Pokemon Pokopia week. That's right. Yvonne Francois, hi there. Tigra says, hey. Nintex2Dope. Hello, Polygale Network. Hello, Nintex2Dope. Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Now give me another moment to organize things a little bit better here, but continue to welcome each other on in. There are some notifications popping off. And let's see, I do have something to update. We are at 512 members, by the way, which is excellent. And we went up in subscribers to 8684. I see some talk between each other. Nerdy Paul is here. Okay. David, Yvonne, Byzantium, talking. Good. I'm glad to see that the chat is having back and forth. Did everyone see all of the Pokopia reviews? Very exciting. Yeah. We're getting a quality title on our hands. Like I said before, Pokemon sells well, but then there's Pokemon that sells really well, which is typically the main entry titles, and then games that sell well, like in the Legends zone, which are just underneath the top main selling entries, but still quite solid. And then you've got things like Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Snap, new Pokemon Snap, Pokken Tournament. They'll sell a couple million, but not a lot. Then you've got this Pokemon, Pokopia. It's got Pokemon, but then it's got a little bit of that Minecraft, Roblox, Lego Fortnite, Creative Draw, the Animal Crossing crowd. Could that help it? Well, if it's a solid game, that's good. But it needs something else, because high quality games sometimes aren't just enough. But if you mix Pokemon, high quality entry, and something different that capitalizes and hits these different needs, that could be a good indicator for a big seller. Like maybe this won't be a 3 million. Maybe it'll be a 10. Maybe it will be a 15, 20. That's a lot, though. That's a lot to ask. especially with the install base right now of Nintendo Switch 2 being, you know, close to 19 million. We'll see. Pokopia could turn out to be a sleeper system selling hit. Could. Pokemon plus Minecraft plus Animal Crossing equals lots of dollar signs. True, true. Sorry. A couple of things. Multitasking. In Indie World tomorrow, that has annoyed parts of the internet. Good times. How could anybody be annoyed by bad? How could they make bad news out of good news? I'm gonna have waffles tomorrow morning. Oh, waffles, huh? Not pancakes? Jeez, I was really hoping that you were gonna have pancakes, not waffles. Why you gotta make something bad out of waffles because it's not pancakes? I'm gonna get a cheeseburger tonight. Oh, not tacos? Jeez, you don't like tacos, huh? Man, I totally thought we were having tacos. Why a cheeseburger? What do you want? Not you, but those people. What do you want? You got a Pokemon Presents. You got a direct for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. You got Mario Tennis Fever, Resident Evil Requiem, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate, the Super Mario Galaxy movie direct, a Super Mario Bros. Wonder plus Bell Park, and Pokemon Pokopia Treehouse segment. You got a Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. You got a Lego Pokemon drop. You got an official reveal of the full Ocarina of Time Lego set. You know that Mario Day is coming up soon, and that there's probably something that will happen for it. You do know that games are on the horizon, like Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. You do know that games are on the horizon, like the Duskbloods. You know Pokemon Gen 10 is now coming out next year. You've got Pokemon Pokopia coming out in a week. And then here there's an indie world, and with everything said, people will still find a way to complain that it's not enough or that what's coming tomorrow is bad because it's not what they want. It's stunning. It's stunning. Oh, how has it been made to be bad? And how could it have possibly annoyed parts of the internet? I don't know. But it's sad to see that that's reality, you know? It's a good thing. Anyhow, Tabby Cat Games is here. Hey. Roger Enyart is here saying, yo, popping in to say hello while I am streaming as well. You're streaming as well? Well, geez, we got to get Roger's stream on here. Roger, you could put your link up anytime. Put your link up. Go ahead. Let's see. This is Roger Enyart's stream in the chat. And we're going to have Roger Enyart's page right here for a little bit of a picture-in-picture. Hopefully this works. Is this working? Okay, cool.
I'm just gonna leave it. Alright, I have no idea where I'm going.
We've got Roger's stream up. He started 6 minutes ago. I can't like it right there, but I'm going to like it right here. Can y'all hear it? I can't hear it.
I think in this day and age, there's a safety guard. Gordon, right? Type 2. Find safety guardian in your journey. Okay?
Do not worry. I will make sure to keep your items safe.
Oh, I can hear it. Okay, I'll try to put the volume at its lowest, so there's not this like crossover, too much interruption or too jarring between Roger's voice and the music in the game and then me talking. But I want to give Roger a highlight. But yeah, Nerdy Paul, how do people find a way how to make it bad, say it's bad? I don't know. Well, let me get back to the stream. Jeez Louise. If Paul streamed the Indie World tomorrow, I should be here with you guys as well. I might be able to stream it live. I'll definitely do a video on it. I don't know if I'll be live for it happening. Personally, I hope they do more Indie Worlds this gen. The big games will get plenty of attention, but there are loads of cool indies deserving of more attention. True. If anyone is annoyed by this news, then they got more wrong with life than a game direct. Ah, yeah, true, Tabby. True. Nintexu Dope is happy. Indie World, party time, excellent. Indie World, party time, excellent. Wayne's World, I got that reference. That's funny. I like that. Let's see. Who said it? I saw a comment that's pretty fitting. Somebody said it. Someone said it. Oh, iByzantium said it. More. YNMO6, yo, Paul. How are you doing, man? Good, thank you. You think we're getting a 3D Mario game announced this Mario Day? Personally, I don't have any hope. I think we'll get Yoshi and the Mysterious Book revealed. The date revealed, you know? New trailer and stuff. Maybe. A little bit of wishful thinking is like maybe they use it to be like Super Mario Galaxy 3, the game, is coming this November to capitalize on that they just released 1 and 2 several months ago, back in October. That, you know, coming next month, in less than 3 weeks, is the Super Mario Galaxy movie. So this November, boom, the new 3D Mario game being Galaxy 3 or something, just to capitalize on the name. But maybe not. Maybe it'll show up, maybe it won't be Galaxy 3, and it'll be Odyssey 2 or Super Mario 3D something other, completely different title, you know? I still see it's a possibility. I don't know what percentage I'm at on the likelihood, though, you know? They could save it for June. I don't think you would save it for September. Then again, Super Mario Bros. Wonder was saved till later in the year, and then it came out just a few months later. But I think for a 3D Mario, you want to build up a little bit of a longer hype cycle, perhaps. I know, hard to say. So I'm kind of on the fence of, yeah, maybe 3D Mario would show up on March 10th. Definitely possible. By the way, apparently the Switch 2 has already surpassed the PS5 and Xbox in how many exclusives each console has. Wow. That's record-breaking time. Well said, Paul. People cannot be satisfied. T. Fernbach. True. It's a gaming desert. LOL. Gosh, Boo Mini. We have so many games right now. Nobody should be bored with what's available today, you know? Silksong and Deltarune fans are waiting for tomorrow. I have the clown mask on from now on. The Silksong was the forever, maybe tomorrow. Pokemon Fan 34 is here. Hi there. BK Lin, is Nintendo Direct June 2026 going to show first-party games or third-party games? The next Just Dance game? If there is a Direct in June, especially if we don't get a general Direct by April 30th, I think that Direct will be a very big one, as it will show off quite a bit of Nintendo stuff and third-party titles as well. Where was I? I think Nintendo is just trolling people at this point, holding the big direct for last so the haters can cry. Maybe. Meaning the Hollower release date announcement tomorrow, maybe. That would be nice. Tabby Cat Games saying podcast tonight. Here, let me click that and get that up. Here, I'm going to close Roger's video for a moment and put up the podcast link. So this is going to be a conversation with Tabby Cat Games and Roger Enyart. The link is there in the chat. And I'm going to pin it there. Let's see what else we got. Oh, I've owned my same Animal Crossing Nintendo since 2020. Still working perfect. Nice. Okay, talking amongst each other. Really hope for Deltarune Chapter 5 coming tomorrow. Toby Fox did say it was coming this year. People need to be more patient, says Pokemon Fan 34. True. J Biggs, Mr. NY for Life is here. Hi there. Okay. I think I'm caught up. Tabby Cat Games, you're welcome. If y'all want a fun podcast to go to. Pokemon Fan 34, what link did you just put up? I know Tabby put up. Wait, what is this one? Okay, another podcast. Okay, cool. I can only pin one at a time. But that's the Polytoads Dojo, so. I'll put that link too. Help out as many people as you can, you know? You can only pin one at a time, but at least we get some links up in here. Mixing it up says, hi Paul, hi everyone. Everyone enjoying RE9 over the weekend? Oh, you know it. You better believe it. Resident Evil Requiem. Game key card, I don't care. Came in this sweet box. Digital does win for convenience, but this cool extra box, since it all cost the same, I was like, oh, well, first of all, it cost the same. It was $90 for this physical box that comes with this little sleeve. Whoop. Comes with this little Resident Evil Generations pack game case box with some artwork inside and stuff like that. And then these 3 game key cards. Technically, it does create a little bit of ownership. If you spent $90 for all 3, decided, you know what, I only want to keep this one, which is like a $70 release, and then I'll sell these 2 for like $10 each after you're done playing with them. You don't want them. $20 each, whatever. You could. You couldn't do that digitally if you bought the Generation Pack digital for $90, etc. I don't plan on selling them. I played 7, owned 7. I only played a little bit of 8. I don't own it. So not only did I not play the third person part of 8 when that came to the game, but I didn't even play much of the title at all. I just never picked this one up. So 8's going to be completely a new game for me, basically. 7 we'll see if I replay the whole thing or not. I actually don't recall if I beat 7. Actually, I didn't beat 7. So I might end up beating it here. It could be like well, no, it's not quite a Final Fantasy VII remake situation, because that one I beat entirely before, and then I am on the path to beating it now. This would be a case of didn't quite beat it before. We'll at least play it. Might end up beating it here, or it could go back to the PS4 version and beat it. I don't know. We'll see. The main thing is, I wanted to buy this. I wanted to own this. And I think once in a while, like if it's digital, it's forever convenient and it's on your system. Can't sell it. Then again, like I said, it's not really a thing for me to sell. But you have that option. However, if it's a game that I'm not going to constantly need to have on my system, I don't mind the inconvenience of a game key card. Street Fighter 6, a good case. Always want it on the system. Just pick up and play some Street Fighter. Resident Evil, after I beat it, probably won't need it on my system. Maybe I'll want to play it around Halloween time a year from now, a couple years from now. Maybe some update from Capcom. So I'll just stick it back on the system at that point. Make some space and then just put the cartridge in when I want to. But what do I think of the game? Oh, I think it's so good. It is really good. One of the best titles on Nintendo Switch 2 right now. It is fantastic. I would say I would recommend it for everyone, but it is rated M for mature. It is pretty violent. It's got some cuss words. It's got blood and gore, guts. It's scary too. So, I gotta recommend it for rated M and up people, 17 and up officially, and then also those that are okay with horror as an aspect. But it is such a good game. High quality effort from Capcom. The sound design, the creaking of the woods, the voice acting, animation, the gameplay, it's just fun. It's got an awesome loop. It's tough. I could be playing on easy, but I'm not. I'm playing on level medium difficulty, modern, which helps with the saving instead of classic, which is more limited saves. Gorgeous graphics. It's just an awesome game. Let's see. What else we got in here? What do you think about Pokemon Pokopia being the highest rated game of the year? I think it's pretty neat. It's definitely boding well for the game selling. It would sell well regardless. It would sell a few million just for being Pokemon. But what stratosphere does it enter? What level? Does it do a couple million like a new Pokemon Snap or Pokken Tournament? Or does it do in that 10-15 million zone like Pokemon Legends Arceus or ZA? Or does it become like a 20 million, maybe 30 million seller like some of the best duo releases of Pokemon games, or Sword Shield, Scarlet and Violet, that went on to becoming the new second and new third of all time? I don't know. But high reviews plus Pokemon looking good. Of course, it has an install base of 19 million, but if it sells well out of the gate and has legs, which it looks like it's a game to have legs, like a Minecraft, like an Animal Crossing, we could be looking at a 10 to 18 million seller long run. We'll see. Potential Goatee. Skyrim for Switch 2 just went on sale in the eShop for $30. That's a pretty good deal, especially the Switch 2 version. World of Warcraft Midnight, nice. You liked my unboxing stream, thank you. Links around, cool. Not me. Been enjoying Final Fantasy VII Remake instead. LOL. Watched a friend play some Grace's campaign at least. That's cool, Dink. Well, at least you're enjoying Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Like, that's an amazing one. Now see, I don't feel too bad that I put FF7 Remake down for the few days because of this. Mainly because I beat 7 Remake before. But I still will go back and finish my Remake Intergrade on Nintendo Switch 2. Because I do love it. So I hope you continue having fun. Same, I bought it for the box. Cool to have. Yeah, Shiny Ray. True. I can't do Resident Evil, Boomini says, but happy for those who are enjoying it. Well, that's okay. Good, you know. Very cool box set. I picked it up digitally because the physical box set was out of stock everywhere. That's true. Yeah, you're still going to have a great time with it. I'm very happy to play Pokopia. Can't wait. Yep. The game is very scary, to be fair. Heck yeah, man, it's scary. I'm a grown adult. Strong, fast, athletic. I've had many fights. I've been in many tournaments. I've fought around the world. I've represented the United States in 3 world tournaments. I've been to many competitions. Dealt with a lot of real things in life. You know, watched plenty of horror movies. You know, am pretty confident in, you know, okay, walking around in the dark and stuff like that. Don't look for trouble, but, you know, could take care of myself. And here I am playing Resident Evil Requiem going, no. Like, it happens. It's so good. I love it. It's like hot sauce. I mean, I love hot sauce. Why do you do it? It hurts. It burns. Yet you cannot not enjoy the hot sauce. Why do you get scared? Why do you want to get scared? What is it doing for your heart, your mind? That's not good. But it's fun. You know, if you know, you know. It's funny. One thing I do know is Tabby Cat Games, with that member for 5 months, nice green banner, and that PGN brown belt tier says, can't believe it's March already. Happy to be here. Let's go. That's right. Let's go indeed. Thank you, Tabby, for being here for 5 months. Joycey J69 saying, hey, Paul. Hey, y'all. Not feeling great, so I'll be working and lurking in the background. Well, I hope you had a fun weekend, but sorry that you're not feeling the best right now. Relax, recoup a little bit. Hopefully you feel better later in the day. Considering I don't own a Switch 2, I'm wondering, you could sell the key cards? I thought they were like a one-time redeem thing. No. So the neat thing, gotta say, the cool thing about the Nintendo Switch 2 game key cards, as controversial as people made them out to being, as so much unnecessary hate that went in their direction, they needed to be done if folks wanted to have a physical way of playing certain games. Kind of. I say kind of because, yes, a game that's like 100 gigs wouldn't fit on a Nintendo Switch 2 64 gigabyte cartridge. But what could have happened potentially is, you know, Square Enix put 62 gigabytes on the cart, and on the box said mandatory 40 gigabyte download. It'd be a little bit convoluted, but not necessarily too much. People would get home, put in the cartridge, and then have to download to have the entire game. It saves the cartridge, it saves the storage space on the system instead of eating up 100 gigs, only eating up 40. So that'd be kind of helpful. So that's a possibility. Then you got the developers out there that, you know, have games that take up between 12 and 55 gigabytes worth of space. Those could entirely fit on that 64 gigabyte cartridge. But if it's a smaller game, it just is one of those things of principle that's not good for business making. Boy, we're eating a lot of cost on this high capacity cartridge in which we're not using all of. Why are we spending $16 on the cartridge when we could just make $16 more profit digitally? Or make like $14 more profit by having a game key card, because the game key card has an unlocking mechanism in it, but no real data on it. And plus, the reading speeds of a game coming off of the system itself or off of a micro SD express card being faster than cartridge also means that certain titles could be a little bit better playing loading times from game key card or digital than cartridge. Not that they wouldn't work, but be a little bit better. So it really is this alternative. And yeah, you do download the entirety of the game, but like it's locked to this key card. So if you lent your buddy a game key card over the weekend, you could not play this digital game. He or she or they would, whatever, take this game, put on their system, download it, and then like they give it back to you, they would not have access to that digital game anymore without the key card. So that is how it's tied to it. And it's not that bad, you know? Paladin says, good afternoon, Paul. 89 for Pokopia was not on my bingo card, but that is awesome. That is awesome. Indeed. Speaking of other things that are awesome, Pokemon Fan 34. Ooh, this makes Pokemon Fan the first to get green in the month of March. Pokemon Fan 34. You get the brand new color. Pokemon Fan 34. No spaces, I don't think. Nope, no spaces. Pokemon Fan 34. Thank you so much for the awesome, generous $5. It's March. As you know, February was red. Our new color for March is green. Kind of because of St. Patrick's Day, you know. I'm trying to be a little bit different here. Top March membership goes to, and then your Pokemon Fan 34, your name is all over here. Pokemon Fan 34 with the 5. Boom! Oh, and just like that, our total members is at 517. Woo! Heck yeah. Super cool. Thank you one more time. A-Toning Phoenix, Rogue Underdog, Ru Buenrostro, When Life Gives You Lemons XD, and Chris Boy 15 were all the recipients of Pokemon Fan 34's super generous 5 gifted memberships. Let's go. And speaking of more green on here, Dank Meme Center X with the 6-month green banner showing across the screen. PGN White Belt tier. James Bond 007 badge next to his name unlocked. Now, Dank Meme Center X, you join Pokemon Fan 34 with having that James Bond next to your name. Not many people have that one yet. It's soon going to become a lot more. Like Tabby, she still's got that Green Ranger Tommy Oliver badge, but next month, Tabby will unlock the James Bond one. Let's see. What else do we got? Thank you again, Pokemon Fan. That's awesome. Take Meme Center X said earlier, plus I kind of had to get rid of my pre-order for Unexpected Life purchase, so it comes back in stock, so I'll cop it. Otherwise, I'll just wait for sale PS5. Good afternoon, Paul. 89 for Okay, I read that one. Pokopia is Goaty. Awards. Bill Maher says, hey, friends. Hey, Lee J. Boo Benny says, Kit from Kit and Krista did a review, and he said there is a part of the game that is absolutely terrifying. Uh-oh! I just spoke with Kit and Krista Friday evening. Sorry, Saturday night. Yeah. They're always cool. I know they're enjoying the game. It is really good. It's pretty scary. Thank you, Tabby Cat Games, for reminding people to hit that like button. How are we doing, by the way, on likes? I know we're at 42 watching live right now. 42 watching and 27 likes. So we are past the halfway mark, which is pretty cool. Thank you all. If it beats GTA 6, I will be so happy. Oh, I'm going to say not likely, but you never know. Lee J is loving Requiem on Switch 2. Awesome. I'm a big scaredy cat, so I can't do horror. Yeah, that's one of the things. Like, maybe if you've got the lights on, a bunch of people in the room and like little birds chirping in the background. All lights are on, windows are open, fresh air coming in. Everybody is just, yeah, keeping cheery and stuff. Then you set the atmosphere to be different. You got some, favorite little nostalgic, happy music in the background. But then you're kind of out of the moment and distracted. But not to say it's a bad thing, because you still might be enjoying the graphics and the combat and stuff and just not be getting scared. But, it's a pretty scary game. It's good, though. Love it. Pokopia on Thursday is my big release. Very cool. RE brings my memory back. Can't wait to play it. Charlie Smith is here. Hi. Sorry late today. What's the topic? Corey Boehm, welcome. Corey, we've been talking about Pokemon Pokopia and how surprisingly high the Metacritic review is. It's not just like, oh yeah, it's a good game. Like a 7 is good. 7.5 is a good average. But no, it's like a 9. 89, 89, 90 between, or amongst, I should say, a few dozen reviewers. That's pretty solid. So you've got the Pokemon aspect, the high review score aspect, one of the highest in Pokemon history, if I'm not mistaken. It's got to be closer to the top than not. That Minecraft and Animal Crossing appeal. Ooh, this could be a 10 million plus seller like nothing. I thought it had the potential when they first showed it off. Pokemon plus Animal Crossing, Minecraft, Roblox, Fortnite, Lego vibes. I got a good feeling. But how good of a quality will it be? Etc., etc. Evidently, nice. By the way, 50 watching now, and I think we hit 30 likes. Super cool. So Corey Boehm, to answer your question a little bit more, yeah, talking about Pokemon Pokopia, tomorrow's Indie World event, just dropping, and talking a good amount about Resident Evil Requiem. Let's see. A girl was enjoying RE9 on a plane, and the comments were like, should have taken your OLED monitor and PS5 Pro to the plane for extra frames per second and shadows. Someone said that? Oh, jeez. Okay. I think if a general direct isn't next week or the week after, we aren't getting one until June more than likely. Matt, I'm still on the fence of by April 30th, we'll get something. I think if we don't get a general direct by April 30th, then yes, we'll get something big in June. Because what? Then they're going to drop a general in May and another one in June? Or in May, one and a mini in June? Now, what if we don't get a general direct this month or April, but we get a Nintendo Direct Mini between now and April 30th? That wouldn't be bad. Here are some updates. It's a 22-minute Nintendo Direct Mini, and they're going to have some cool stuff, right? Here's the release date for Splatoon Raiders. Here's the release date for the new Rhythm Heaven, for the new Professor Layton, for Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Here's one last little look at Tamagotchi Life. Here's a release date for Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. And here's one new game. 7 titles taking up a 22-minute Nintendo Direct Mini. 6 of those titles not being new, but being updates / release dates. One title being new, unexpected, coming this year. Throw in one new Tetris 99-like game for NSO. So that would be two new titles. 6, 7-ish things that we know about. and then maybe a couple of things like a Nintendo Switch 2 edition, a reminder of Xenoblade Chronicles X Physical Edition, maybe one more little surprise like a port of something like Metroid Samus Returns. I could see a Nintendo Direct Mini in March or April, and there still being a main one in June. Okay, that's kind of where I'm at. Let's see. Wait, did you go to the Olympics? No, Pokemon Fan 34. I've never been to the Olympics. No. Other world tournaments, though, yes. You really need to get some live reacts to your reactions. I should. I should just record myself. But the thing is that there's the picture-in-picture thing. Without a capture card, it doesn't have the missing half, right? If you just record the screen and hear my ahs, okay. But if you just see my face and hear the music in the background, it's like, oh, but there's no context. You need the capture card to have me. Oh, and even what would be even worse is like if it's dark in the background and I'm just playing, no chat to distract me, no super chat membership to get me out of the element. I'm like, woo, yeah, thank you. No, just dark, and then we upload that footage later on. Like, that would be fun, but I don't have that set up. But I do agree, it would be pretty good. Oh, let's see. You don't like spicy food? Oh, I love spicy food. But that's okay, everyone's different. I think I haven't been able to play anything as I got a T virus. Any tips on how to recover? Uh-oh. Gotta go visit Umbrella Corps. Pokopia about to take over, says Atlas NFT. Hold on, wait a minute. Wait, did this happen again? Hold on. Did Pokemon Fan 34 send another 5? No, hold on. Where am I in chat? Hold on. Did someone else do another 5? The dream would be ability to resell digital games. That would be something, Blanky. That would be something. Would be pretty cool. Thank Meme Center X. Showing off that. Oh, I read that. I saw that one. Hold on. Where am I in the chat? Rewind. Honestly, as much hate as it gets, I applaud Nintendo for trying a middle ground. The Shamrock Shake's coming back. Have you guys talked about the Indie Direct scheduled for tomorrow morning yet? Yeah. I'd like to see Expedition 33 announced, but it may have outgrown its indie status. Imagine that one. That would be a big one. You brought up a good point. People may have forgotten. That's an indie game, technically. Big, like you said, but it could be there. We've got 40 people watching. Let's get the likes up. I agree. Thank you. Companies weren't tapping for 32. Why on earth will they do 64 regardless of memory speed bottleneck? The physical decline exists and folks got to accept it. How you get James Pond? Corey Boehm got James Bond in there. Have I been playing Docked? I've been playing Docked and Portable. Oh, how are Kit and Krista doing? They're doing well. We talked about Resident Evil 9. We played some Splatoon 3 together. And, not too long ago, we did the 4th anniversary of their channel. Technically the Switch is 9 today because it's March 3rd. Yeah, Japan is 16 hours ahead of the Pacific time. 33% of my Switch 2 games are from Capcom. RE rated R always. Salaman Hamoud 2244, how are you doing today? I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing? Hey, whoa, there we go. Pokemon Fan 34 with another 5. Now, Pokemon Fan is a top March membership gifter at 10, bringing our total members to 522. Your total's at 10. The stream's total's at 10. It's a Pokemon Fan 34 month. I mean, the month is young, but Pokemon Fan 34, you are the month right now. Thank you so much. K-Lad Dieter, or, oh no, I see it. Sometimes I don't know how to read it till I'm reading it for the first time or it takes the second time. Kayla Dieter. Subway Edits Moon Fervor. Ultraman 9187. Santendo Guy. And Halbor were all the recipients this time of Pokemon Fan 34's super generous 5 additional gifted memberships. Big thank you, Pokemon Fan 34, for another one. I am grateful. That is awesome. Let's go. Bill Maher saying Pokopia 100 million sales. Oh boy, that would be something. It is the highest rated Pokemon game. Okay, I knew it was up there. If not the top, it had to be in the top few. Calling it now, Pokopia will still be appearing in sales charts at the end of the Switch 2 life. It could be that Breath of the Wild Mario Kart 8 Deluxe title. A better comparison would be Dragon Quest Builders, considering Minecraft is too open-ended and can drawn from all walks of pop culture while Pokemon is limited to the gens. Yeah, Dragon Quest Builders would be a good comparison to this too. Hashtag June Direct bandwagon is very close to capacity. Please board soon and in an orderly fashion. Corey Bohm. Might be right. If it's not a Direct with Mario included, y'all know what happens. Oh yeah. Duskbloods. I think Duskbloods is going to be big. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. That's another one that's got to pop up. By March 31st. I said the number. Yeah. What's a grifter? A grifter, I think, is somebody who is just catching on a trend that happens to lean towards negativity or toxicity to get attention. So like let's say nobody knows anything of in a moment. Let's say nobody knows anything of the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller. This person has never touched it, never played it. And then a story comes out that says the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller, 10 months in, is showing that the battery is no longer lasting 40 hours, whereas 2 years in, many people's Nintendo Switch Pro Controller was lasting still 44 hours. The 42-hour battery life now at 40 hours indicates that the HD Rumble 2 feature is utilizing more juice than expected. And that's fine. It's known that the Pro Controller 2 is a little less high of a capacity, or at least long running of a controller in terms of battery life than the Pro Controller was, right? But here you'd have somebody on YouTube or somewhere else out there on social media that has never touched a Pro Controller 2 use this as gospel and say, see, yep, I knew it. The Nintendo Switch 2 was a rushed product. That Pro Controller 2 was hot garbage. Nintendo didn't take the R&D. They over-exaggerated on the HD Rumble. I bet you it's going to be only a minute or two until the analog sticks start wearing out. Yep, we're probably getting drift next. Yeah, the Pro Controller, I mean, it gave 44 hours in the beginning, 44 hours 2 years in. The Pro Controller 2 gave 42 hours in the beginning and only 40 hours after 10 months. That person would be a grifter, if I'm not mistaken, as the best way to explain it. They don't have the system. They probably never had the Nintendo Switch either. They heard one story, they're running with it, and they're making their own YouTube content on it because they're trying to capitalize on the negativity and contribute to the toxicity of that report, even if that report isn't the most accurate, because maybe it was a small case of controllers being only a couple hours less in life of usage than the majority in comparison to Pro Controller 1. You see it all the time. All walks of life. Takes all sorts of people to make this world work. I just say to most people, Just gotta chill a little bit. You don't have to be mad. It's better to be happy than mad, you know? Back to the chat though. Jacob, hope Deltarune Chapter 5 gets announced tomorrow. You need a capture card. Yeah, Pokemon Fan 34. It would be cool. J-Views, hey Paul. How goes it? Loving RE9 so far. And my Pro Controller came on Saturday, 2 days earlier than expected. I understand why it's so highly rated now. The sticks are spectacular. Awesome, J-Views. And I was just talking about the Pro 2 controller. It is awesome. Anything Pokemon will drive Switch 2 sales. Hello, Paul and everyone. Hi, Quiet Lion Gaming. Welcome. Literally anything but a general direct. Though I still hope one will be this month. Yeah? Maybe. Pokemon Fan 34 at the time saying you didn't do another 5, but then you did another 5. That's awesome. I think he just lost track. My chat is going off. This happens like when there's like 50 of you in the chat and a good amount of those 50 are having conversations either with me or to each other. Oof. It's a lot to follow. It's a lot to follow. I do make it difficult for myself though, not in a bad way, but I take it upon myself to truly try to read out everybody's chat out loud. Certainly to read all of them is the main goal, but to read them out loud too. Don't be mad, get glad. That's true. That's true. So yeah, sometimes the chat jumps and I'm looking to get back. PGN. Even if we cannot sell digital games, there needs to be a way to transfer ownership on death of the current owner. I mean, at the very least, it's like your son, daughter, next of kin, whatever, would just pick up the system, use your old email address, password, and still play it like that, right? Like, that's still a thing. But I know what you mean, like a proper name and title transfer. Yeah. I could see the DLC for Silksong getting... Where am I? Released, maybe. Yes, to confuse me more, you dropped the other 5. That's funny. It worked. Shamrock Shake has been out for a couple weeks. Wishlist for tomorrow. Mina the Hollower. Mugency's Switch 2 port. Gaming Observed says my 007 thoughts. Cool. I think the new 007 looks good. We want more news about already announced and upcoming games. Here's the indie world for you. 100 million would be insane. They'll probably mention quickly Scott Pilgrim, EX is out. Hard living in a third world country. A PS4 costs $500 and a Switch 2 costs $912. PS5 costs $905, all because these companies don't support my country. That's rough. YNMO6. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. It's that pricey. I still hope a direct happens this month, possibly on Mario Day, maybe. My Pro Controller still works great. The sticks on the new one are so smooth. They absolutely are. The vendors buy them from Europe and then skyrocket prices here. Ugh. Big man big. After the Switch 2, there will be people who launch their careers from being grifters. A bit sad, to be honest. Yeah. Super Brahe. Expedition 33 tomorrow. Is it even indie at this point? It still is. Big, successful indie, but yeah, it still is. Zabikin 11. Did not expect Pokemon Pokopia to be the game to break the 70s Metacritic curse and be a legit GOTY contender, but I'm glad it is. You know, and the cool thing is, like, it's the type of game that's going to sell consistently at least all year. So it's not like, okay, it released in January, high score, but everyone forgets about 11 months later. No, it's coming out in March. Still early within the first quarter, but it's going to be this continuous seller, you know? So I think it's going to do pretty well in the being on top of people's minds regards, kind of like Animal Crossing was a March game back in 2020. After Pokopia launches, we'll have Mario Wonder, and then Tamagotchi Life, and then Xenoblade Chronicles X Physical, yeah. RA9 has definitively given me a few nope, I don't want to proceed scares. I made a joke on X last night saying, like basically everybody wants a Nintendo Switch 2 battery life to be longer. No. When you play Resident Evil Requiem, you want that battery life to die. You want it to go out. You don't want to play longer. Joking. But ironically, how long was it? I put up my time. I played in portable mode last night, 2 hours and 40 minutes. That's longer than Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. That's longer than Donkey Kong Bonanza. That's longer than Split Fiction. I think that even though the game is like a graphical powerhouse, due to it being slower moving, and maybe I had the brightness a little bit less than before, the volume a little bit less than before, I got 2 hours and 40 minutes of playing this thing in portable mode, going from 100% to 1%, beep, beep, emergency. Okay, I'm done. Dock it. I like to do these tests once in a while. Usually I don't try to purposely drain my system, see how long it lasts, but I kind of want to put out there evidence for folks that are considering buying a Nintendo Switch 2. Well, how long do these games actually last? And Split Fiction, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, you're looking at about 2 hours and 15 minutes or so, maybe like 80% brightness, 80% volume to have on the system. That's pretty darn good. That's a healthy 2 hour car ride, a healthy 2 hour plane ride, in which probably on a plane you would have a charger, right, or something like that. In any situation, you have a battery pack. On a train, 2 hours also. At work, 2 hours, in which if you're at work, you probably don't have a 2 hour break, so you wouldn't even capitalize on that. If you're at school, university student, you've got breaks in between classes, 2 hours. But then you've also got plugs all around your campus and stuff like that to charge things in, whether it's in a computer or in a wall or something. So like I think 2 hours to play most of these, high action packed games with solid brightness, solid volume is pretty darn good. And then here Resident Evil 9 for me came in at 2 hours and 40 minutes. Let's see. Hey Paul, did you see the new sales on eShop? Yes. I didn't go into it, but I saw that there is a sale going on. Something's fishy about Pokopia at 89 and RE9 at 88. It all depends on the reviewer. RE9 is better than The Last of Us Part 2, but The Last of Us Part 2 is in the 90s. All depends on those reviewers, It'd be wild if Pokopia sells just as well as GTA 6. That would be crazy. I hope we get a release date for Toxic Crusaders. J-Biggs, that would be cool. Yeah. I remember Toxic Crusaders. Toxic Avenger. The movie came out. I never watched it. The new one. Mina the Hollower. Yeah, can't lie. There's a handful of jump scares in RNN that made me go, holy. Expedition 33 won't be there tomorrow. You don't think so? Might not be. Might be. As long as you're looking forward to a variety of stuff, you're always good. I think if you're someone that only wants one thing, then you might be setting yourself up for disappointment. But if you like a variety of things in life, you're probably always going to be happy, Nothing beats the evil Miyamoto thumbnail. Had me dying of laughter. Crown Sworn tomorrow, I hope. Can we take a moment to appreciate Nintendo going hard on game share, being able to play with friends across all Nintendo Switch systems as long as one person is present and has the game. Very consumer-friendly move. True. Great seeing the Pokopia reviews. Keen for more Dragon Quest builder style. Completely fine with Nintendo Switch 2 battery. Good. I really love Capcom. Me too. They've been making games for Nintendo consoles since the NES and didn't even stop during the N64 and GameCube years. Yeah, Capcom is the best third party, in my opinion. Terrific with Nintendo too. Do you use the 90% battery feature or go to 100? I keep mine 100 in the dock. Mine is mostly the dock, to be fair, too. To the point Nintendo trusted them in making Minish Cap, yep. Or if it would be great if I had friends to share. You got friends here. I wonder if using the system speaker lasts longer or shorter than Bluetooth. I think if you're using headphones, it would be lasting longer. Speaking of lasting longer, longtime member of the channel of 6 months, because that's how long we've been streaming for, Roger Enyart just gifted 10 PGN memberships, bringing us up to 532, 20 for the day, tying with Pokemon Fan for the day, and tying with Pokemon Fan for the month. Thank you, Roger, for the awesome contribution. I'm going to put both of your names in here because you both have a dual shared spot. Boom. There we go. Pokemon Fan's name was there first, so Roger's name will be there first. And that's a pretty equal way of putting it. Thank you, Roger. Awesome of you. And those memberships went to Track Day Maker, ABGM8UI, My Fake Gold Chain, Ultra Instinct, Minty Lagoon, Yoshi But Blue, Scott, Cosmic King, Yonko Sama, and Finian O'Brien. Big thank you, Roger, for those 10. AJ Rax with green and AJ Rax with some orange. Woo! AJ Rax, the green first, showing off that the green badge of honor next to his name. Heck yeah, we've got some green in here with that Tommy Oliver badge unlocking. Member for 2 months in the PGN Brown Belt tier, saying, time to give you some money. Right after that, a $20 orange super chat saying, Indie World, yay. Well, that changes things up here. We're at 40 for the stream. For the day, AJ Rax 0440 with that top spot. Still sticking to green here, though. And then the top super chat of the month, well, it is you, because there is only you. And then Roger Enyart and Pokemon Fan 34, they share that space right now in top membership gifters. Thank you so much, AJ Rax. Indie World Hype. I'm stoked, and I really appreciate that generosity. So thank you so much. And just like that, we've got 56 people watching now as the stream is about to turn Nintendo 64 minutes long. We've got 41 likes of the 58 people watching, so that's a high percentage. Thank y'all. And in case there are any new people in here, what happens at that stream total? What happens, I should say, when the stream total hits $128? Well, we turn around and give a $10 eShop card right back to the community. And usually there's a pretty good chance of winning because your odds are like 1 in 57 or 1 in 20 or whatever. It's just free to enter. You don't have to pay anything to be a part of it. Just being here is being a part of it, you know? But even if we don't get there, the contributions alone, they mean a lot. They appreciate. They fund the channel. They help out. And I am grateful. And just up today went 2 shorts. And actually, there's a couple more for tomorrow, too. So anyways, just had to let y'all know about that, just in case you're new here. AJ Rax, one more time, though. Thank you so much. Pokemon Fan 34, Roger Enyart 2066. Thank you all so much. Once more. The channel's looking healthy, 532 members. They're not blocking us for now of getting more. We know the channel can handle 555. That was the all-time max. Since 555, we've only received more subscribers. So can this become a 600 member channel eventually? Maybe. Can this become a 9,000 subscriber channel eventually? I think so. Since we started off this year at like 8,018 or 8,016, and it's now been 2 months, basically we hit 670 or something like that. 670, 660 members in 2 months. If you want to be safe and double that amount of time, then we're looking at May 1st. So probably before May 1st, we should hit 9,000. That's pretty cool. That's really, really neat. Maybe. I don't want to get presumptuous, but it's looking that way, and that's really nice. Oh, let me see. Back to chat. Let's see. Yeah. I just have my Nintendo Switch 2 go to the normal 100%, and it's mostly a docked console, but I do play portably sometimes, and then only once in a while, like 3 or 4 times, have I ever purposely taken it from 100 to 1 just to see how long. About 4 times have I done that. To the point Nintendo... Oh, yeah, with Capcom. Okay, we talked about that. Shenmue 3, is it an indie title? I mean, it's made by Sega, but then it's had work done, so... I mean, Sega's the owner, but... Could be. It's weird, because, like, Ninja Turtles, a couple of years ago, was considered an indie game because of the developer, even though the IP is a giant, right? Deltarune 5 tomorrow's your biggest cope. Hopefully, Michael Nolan. I have way too many games to play between third parties and whatever else, so I don't need a big direct. I'm fine with these smaller indie showcases. Well said, Michael S. Gutman. Sketches of Harmony is here with some nice PGN crossover Nintendo Switch commercial emojis. I agree, Capcom's the best third party. Yeah. I mean, Capcom's, they've just been there forever, man. They are great. Shenmue 3 Enhanced Edition would be great. AJ Rax 0440. Now I see your comment from earlier. Thank you again. While 2 to 3 hours is good enough battery life, hopefully it gets better with future revisions. I could see that. And also, this is like 2 to 3 hours on pretty high intensive graphics and games and stuff, right? One of my testings, like I said, I only did this to 1% thing about 4 times. One of the times was I played a variety of titles. Like I was swapping between some Split Fiction, Tetris 99, Fast Fusion, Donkey Kong Bonanza, I think, Street Fighter 6, Mario Kart World, basically the launch games. And I could scroll back on X and find it, but if I'm not mistaken, I had over 4 hours. It was like 4:15 or something like that before it was like, bloop, this is it. So a little bit of several things, and you got like 4 hours. So I think if you probably played a less graphically intensive single title or something that was a little bit slower paced of a game, like probably a good test would be Animal Crossing New Horizons. Nintendo Switch 2 edition. A new edition of the game, but a slower paced game. A graphically pleasing Nintendo Switch game that now is higher fidelity. Still wouldn't be representative of like a next-gen, current-gen Nintendo Switch 2 game, though, right? But in terms of slower game... Oh, you know what? Pokemon Pokopia. Pokemon Pokopia seems to be a slower-paced game. I'm curious. If people have it at 70% volume, 70% brightness, and they turn it on at 100% portable only, perhaps not playing online or having Wi-Fi connected for any kind of purposes of that nature. Just how long does it last? Does it give them 3.5 hours? I don't know, but that'll be a good test. Maybe someone will do it. 15 minutes long because Nintendo is saving the rest of the time for the true indie showcase. Indie Mania, that's right, tallest show. You know it, Indie Mania. I'm hoping for Danish Attack, Restory, and Over the Hill tomorrow. Shenmue, always hoping for. Indie World tomorrow, says Nar Trip. That's right. David, I wonder if we will get a release date for Mina the Hollower. That seems to be a popular one. AJ Rax, show us Mina. That's what we need. What's your favorite Capcom franchise? The Big Man Big? Street Fighter. David, also, before I thought a June Direct was more likely, but now I am thinking later in March or April seems more likely. I still think one by April 30th has a good chance of happening. And just like that, I am exhausted. Not really, but just like that, I finally caught up to chat. Holy smokes. That's what happens when you have 53 people watching. A lot of those 53 commenting regularly to each other, in which I read, but not necessarily read out loud, to me, in which some are atted and some are not, but I still try to read them out loud. 58 watching, 48 likes though. Whew. No, I'm not out of breath, but it is a lot. It is a lot. Here, I'm going to take a moment to not talk and just play a couple of shorts. Today in gaming history, March 2nd, 2004, Ninja Gaiden launched for the Xbox in North America. That was a good one. It was also, sad because Tomonobu Itagaki, who passed away not too long ago, was responsible for Ninja Gaiden. And I met him shortly after this game came out, and then a couple more times in my career, attending different E3s and such. So he was nice, he was cool. So it was nice to make the game because it was a pleasant memory. Awesome game, but also a little bit of a sad thought of like, oh man, Mr. Itagaki is no longer here. So, yeah. Oh, I hope that his family, his closest loved ones, are doing as easy as they can now, with as many positive memories of him, but they'll always hold on to, Before I thought a June General Direct was more likely, but now, I read that one. Pirates, Outlaws, Heritages was a great game for Indie Mania. I think it was there I saw it. I'm still playing the first one daily. Guess that's not gonna work. Oh, the subscribe thing? Yeah, I don't have like little doodads established in there. But thank you, Roger. Thank you for recommending folks. We almost have 50 likes. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's almost 1-to-1. That makes me happy to see. If the likes are up, I'm like, oh, I'm doing a decent job. All right. I learned about Ninja Gaiden through the movie The Wizard and Nintendo showing off Super Mario Bros. 3. That's a cool fact, AJ Rax. That's pretty awesome. By the way, who's hyped for the Super Mario Galaxy movie? Because today, March 2nd, 30 days until the release of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I like it. I like it. 30 days until the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Man, that flew by. Yesterday I had this one go up. March 1st, 31 days or 1 month until the release of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Yep. Let's go. Oh, that's right. We're in the final hour. So wild. Man, 3 years ago, the Super Mario Brothers movie came out. Doesn't seem like that long ago. And here we are. Not just a month away, but less than a month away. Super cool. Monster Hunter series will drain battery. Even my battery got hot recharging the Switch 2 during gameplay. I'm excited. I hope they branch out to more Nintendo IPs for movies beyond Mario and Zelda. Although, I think they will. I think they will. Mamma mia, AJ Rack says. Cool. Good stuff. Let me see. More green in the chat. Steak 1024 just unlocking that James Bond badge. Member for 6 months in that PGN white belt tier. Welcome, Steak. Thank you for continuing your membership and for showing off that green banner. Yeah, a lot of people that were here like in August or early September are now slowly getting their James Bond badges. That one lasts 6 months because you get one at the beginning, at the 1 month mark, 2 month mark, and then I think not until the 6th. So I think this is now people's fourth badge, right? You got Lee 6 Great Adventure for the entry, Ryu from Street Fighter for the 1 month, Tommy Oliver, Green Ranger for the 2 month. I don't think there's a 3, 4, 5, and then James Bond for the 6. And then the next one drops at a year. Wow. We're 5 months away from a couple of people probably receiving the 1 year badge. And then it's like, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. We're a ways away from that, but we'll get there. Nartrip. Got my D-brand kill switch for my Switch 2 today, and the grips are a game changer. That's pretty cool to hear. That's good. I'm not playing with anything other than the default, but I'm glad that you like it. That's cool. I wonder if we will finally see Headhunter's Steam game. 6 month age steak, says Sketches of Harmony. Tallest show looking in with the Mario emoji. Paul, since Illumination makes the Mario movie, will we see Mario and the Minions teaming up? Stranger things have happened. I mean, are Rabbids and Minions quite comparable? Yeah. Could we see Mario and Minions in some crossover promotional work? At the very least, before the movie starts, yes. In a film, I don't think so. But maybe Mario likeness or Mario showing up in some capacity in a future Minions movie? Perhaps like a little nod? In a game? Probably not. Just because Minions doesn't really have like an established video game presence. But you know what? I'm going to say I could see something Mario and Minions at some point. Yeah. J-Views. I was checking out the Satisfy grip recently. Looks really clean. Would it be possible to see Bradley the Badger tomorrow? I thought, okay. I didn't mean to laugh. I laughed because for some reason in my mind, I thought you asked Henry the hamster. I don't know why I thought Henry the hamster, because some folks in this community are also in Nintendo Prime's community, and there are plenty of jokes that go on in Nate's chat, aka Ninty Prime's chat, about Henry the hamster. And for some reason, in the moment as I read it, that's where my mind was. And I just laughed. Bradley the Badger, though, the game that was shown off at the Game Awards, that looked good. That looked really good. Made by the former David Soliani team that did Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle and Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I would like that to show up. That would be very nice. It would hit the Banjo-Kazooie Mario crowd really well. And if you're going to put that game on a platform, no offense to other platforms, I hope it does well everywhere, but it should be on a Nintendo console because Nintendo has quite the established history with third-person perspective 3D action-adventure games, right? Donkey Kong, Conker, even Jet Force Gemini to an extent. Of course, Mario and Luigi, Banjo-Kazooie, as I mentioned before. And then seeing things like Ukulele doing well on the system being a nice home for Sonic the Hedgehog eventually, even Crash and Spyro. So, yeah, look at Ruffy on the Riverside. Sold well, but if I'm not mistaken, the Nintendo Switch 2 side of things occupied a good percentage of that total sales. Yeah. Yeah. So I hope so. Let's see. You know what we should do? Maybe. We've been talking about Pokemon Pokopia. I mentioned a couple of different review scores, like on the Metacritic side. Let's look up Pokemon Pokopia and see a live score update. It is at 89 from 53 reviewers. So it has gone up. You know, there were a few dozen, like 39-ish or so folks that have reviewed it. Now it's at 53. So we're approaching 60. It might get there. And 89. That's really solid. Hold on. 57? Did I say 57? I said 53. No, it's 57 here. Yeah. There are so many things I want to gush about with Pokemon Pokopia, says Screen Rant. Eurogamer Portugal says, Pokemon Pokopia is a charming and entertaining life simulation game in which you collaborate with various Pokemon to improve the desolate places you arrive at. Whether you're completing story objectives or simply rejuvenating locations, the hours fly by with immense sweetness and fun. Wow. Very solid. Let's see, the one that's not that hot, because everything is like pretty good from this quick, overview. One says, there is a fun time to be had here, but ultimately Pokemon Pokopia doesn't explore the Pokemon side of its world and offers building quests that are mostly rigid and repetitive. As ever with Pokemon, there is enough charm to see it through, and the mechanics aren't shallow, even if they are used in aid of same few tasks over and over again. Okay. That's why it's good to kind of find a reviewer, not just an outlet, but a reviewer, a person or like a few that kind of gels with you so that you're like, oh yeah. I'm not looking to get my first person shooter review from someone who only does cozy stuff, or I could care less about someone who only focuses on basketball simulation games, what they think of this farming sim, right? You want to know someone who's got a good variety of a good variety of play, who's been reviewing games a while, ideally a multi-console owner of multiple generations spanning across a few decades of actual gameplay experience, And then even then, what do they like? You know? What do they not like? If you're putting in a lot of stock into reviews. Because here, it looks like you are an outlier if you don't like the game quite a bit. There's 160 and 170, and the rest of them are quite a bit higher, you know? You got 175, you've got a number of 80s, mid, high 80s, 90s, quite a few 90s, actually. That seems to be the number that has popped up the most while I've been scrolling. Some hundreds even. Yeah, good for Pokemon Pokopia. I did not know where I had the game, in my Metacritic score because I did not come up with like a prediction for it, I don't think I would have pegged it as 89, but was I hopeful? Like, oh, this would be great if it's like an 80. That's kind of like my hope for a lot of the games is like be in the 80 to 85 territory, and a lot of people are pretty happy with that. Of course, certain games I want them to be in that 90 to 97 territory because of my own personal hype for the game, like a Donkey Kong Bonanza, for instance. Oh, Tabby Cat Games. I want Bradley the Badger. Bye, Pokemon Fan 34. If Eurogamer gives a Nintendo game an 8, it must be good. Charlie Smith with a fine emoji drop. Possibly not a creative reviewer though, so it can be worth looking at their take on other things. True. You never know. Blood Moon tonight, 9 years after the Breath of the Wild Blood Moon. Very true, Brian Brooks. I was thinking Pokopia would be like 81, 83. Yeah, if I had to guess, I was thinking like 80 to 85 is what I'd hoped. But what did I think? I'm not positive. Maybe I would have said like, 80, 82 or something. I don't know. It's much higher than I thought, which is impressive for a new spin-off, yeah. Mixing it up. It is so important to find a reviewer that you gel with. For example, Paul, you can remember this, but Matt Casamassina reviewed Yoshi's Story for the Nintendo 64. He gushed about the game, yeah. Between one site, if you have multiple reviewers, you could have somebody one day talk about Yoshi's Story and loving it, and then someone a few years later talking about Yoshi's, well, more than a few years, Yoshi's Woolly World, and maybe Matt would have loved it, but somebody else played it, didn't like it, it could be totally different. Although both games are great. So like if you asked me, yeah, Yoshi's Story was a good game. Not as good as Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, but still good. But I think Yoshi's Woolly World was better, right? But they would both be in this like similar territory. If you have a site with two different reviewers spanning many years, you look at two Yoshi reviews and it's like so different. Well, are the games truly that different in quality? Or just the reviewer? It's one of those things. Blood Moon tonight? No. Yep. Joyce J, all of the monsters are going to come back. After seeing how much is in the game, I was expecting 90 plus. Nice. I was thinking 80 to 85. Good. Especially surprising, they are pulling this off without any battling. That requires some thoughtful design. Even DQ builders relied on that. Yeah. That's true. Let's see. Oh, this was a fun post. Not to say the most relevant to this stream, because I think this stream is occupied by intelligent, rational-minded people. But I've heard some folks just say, like, because we were talking about this the other week on the stream, that Dragon Quest, it didn't surprise me to see the Nintendo versions outsell the PlayStation versions. Nor did Yakuza surprise me seeing the PlayStation versions outsell the Nintendo one. You have different associations with franchises on said different machines. But Resident Evil, some folks I've heard say it's not really a Nintendo game. And I couldn't disagree more personally. Well, not even personally. That's just false. Resident Evil 1 did not debut on Nintendo 64. It was PlayStation and Sega Saturn. But then Resident Evil 2 came out on PlayStation, and then it made its series debut on Nintendo 64 in 1999. Then came GameCube era, which got Resident Evil 1 Remake, ports of Resident Evil 2 and 3, as well as the exclusive Resident Evil 4 for GameCube, which was a 9.5-month exclusive title. Code Veronica X, which was previously a Dreamcast game that got brought over. And then in this time frame, actually rewinding a little bit, Resident Evil Gaiden came to Game Boy Color, which is kind of like a remake of sorts of Resident Evil 1. And then Wii, no, it was not powerful enough to get Resident Evil 5 and 6, but it got its own version of RE4. It got the Umbrella Chronicles and the Dark Side Chronicles. During that DS Wii era, Resident Evil Deadly Silence came out for the Nintendo DS, which was another remake of sorts, a port of sorts, I should say, of Resident Evil 1. And Nintendo 3DS launched with Resident Evil Revelations, exclusive to the platform, before later getting ported to like Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Wii U. 3DS also got Resident Evil The Mercenaries 3D. And then Wii U got Resident Evil Revelations HD version. So you're looking at N64, Game Boy Color, Nintendo GameCube, DS, Wii, 3DS, and Wii U, 7 systems, all with a presence of Resident Evil on them. That's every generation, including Nintendo Switch. Because on Nintendo Switch, it got ports of all of these things, including, for the first time, a digital version of RE5, which was 10 years old at that point, a digital version of RE6, which was 7 years old at that point, and cloud versions of the modern day Resident Evil 7, 8, and if I'm not mistaken, cloud versions of 2 and 3. Yeah, 2 and 3. Those new remakes, also on Nintendo Switch, though cloud versions. And then now Nintendo Switch 2, digital / game keycard versions of 7, 8, and Day and Date 9, Requiem. So you got every single freaking Nintendo platform with Resident Evil, basically since the beginning, just missing RE1, but eventually having all titles and some exclusives, or some first debuts on Nintendo platforms. Dude, Resident Evil is very much so a Nintendo type of game. It does resonate well. It's not to say that it, only has Nintendo lineage. No, but it's not super identifiable as a only PlayStation, only Nintendo something, because you can make positive arguments for PlayStation having, good connections with Resident Evil also, because it does. Some people, they're just not accurate, or they just want to hate for the sake of hating. Unnecessarily so, I'm interested to see how well RE9 sells compared to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Switch 2 has a smaller install base, but I'd say the attach rate will be super high. Good point, mixing it up. This Thursday, we'll see how well it did in Japan. You've got PS5, good familiarity with Resident Evil, coming off of Biohazard 7, RE Village 8, the remakes 2, 3, and 4. So there's been a lot of PlayStation love for Resident Evil. Not that Nintendo hasn't, but it hasn't been as strong lately because it didn't get this equal parity new releases. But in totality, it's pretty strong with Nintendo. Quite, very strong. So, yeah, you got a popular system. The game's running well everywhere. I'm very curious to see the Famitsu sales, and then eventually, the more broad, the world sales, the global sales, right? But yeah, Having Hope 5 is here saying, hey, y'all. Hey, Having Hope 5. I'm very worried about a Nintendo Direct this month with an indie Direct now. I mean, it's still new games at the end of the day, It's still new stuff coming to Nintendo, and that's cool. However it is, partner showcase, indie, give it to me. Maybe we'll get a Direct Mini, though. Or maybe in 8 days we'll get a Mario Direct for a Mario Day. I'm puffing the Thursday/Friday Direct Hopium as this is early in the week. That's funny. You know what? I'm going to get some water, but I will be right back. I don't have a video to play, so hopefully I'm not too long. Hopefully you don't mind staring at a screen. But chat, talk, I'll be right back. But thank you for being here. Awesome conversation so far. Alrighty. Let's see, what did I miss? I mostly played Resident Evil on Nintendo systems. RE1 and 2 and PS1, RE4, Umbrella Chronicles on Wii, 5, RE360, Revelations Wii U, Switch for RE4, 5, 6, Revelations 1 and 2, Switch 2, Requiem. Got it. That's a lot. Chair stream. Samus is going to take out the chair. Virtual Boy. Paul's Chair Network. Shh, he's back. Behave, y'all. Yes. You're all good. This has been a fun stream. I have to go record something in a little bit. We did cover everything I wanted to cover, though. Nintendo Switch turning 9. Tomorrow we'll have an anniversary stream. Just to let you know. Tomorrow we'll have a Nintendo Switch happy birthday stream. We'll do that. Wednesday, I'm sure we'll have something to talk about. Thursday will be our big Famitsu sales day and Pokopia release day. Friday, normal stream. Oh, wait a minute. Tomorrow we'll also be going over Indie World. Geez, tomorrow will be good, actually. Tomorrow we'll be going over Indie World and celebrating Nintendo Switch turning 9. Yeah. So I've got some big hype feels for Tuesday and Thursday. Not to say Wednesday and Friday won't be fun. I'm sure they will be. It's just, some days we know in advance we're going to have something to talk about. Like every Thursday, I always know, dude, we're going to have a good time talking Famitsu sales. The other days of the week, we make our own fun. And sometimes there isn't anything like super new, in conversation that happened. But it doesn't matter. It seems like, this group, this community really clicks well together. And we just have a nice time. Look at all that green on the chart over to my left, by the way. Isn't that nice? AJ Rax 0440, Pokemon Fan 34, Roger Enyart 2066. Thank you so much for contributing today. And then, of course, in the top membership for March spot at the bottom, we've got a tie between Roger and Pokemon Fan. And in the bottom, stands alone for the top March single super chat to AJ Rax with a 20. Awesome way to kick off the month. Roger Enyart also saying, Polygon Network, we are streaming the Indie Showcase in the morning. There you go. Roger and Tabby together, correct? If you would like, put the link in one more time now to the stream itself. I did so earlier in the day. Actually, hold on, wait. That's right here. It's still the pinned comment. That one's to Tabby's page. Earlier I did Roger's page, so I'll go to either or both. I might not be streaming it live at 6, but I will be doing like a reaction video to it later on. So I'm looking forward to talking with you all about it. And later on in the stream having, more to say. Yeah. All right, everybody. I think that's it for now. Yeah. There we go. There's the link. Good to see. Hope you all have an awesome rest of your day. It's still on the early side over here, 1:38 p.m., but I got some things to record. Take care until the stream freezes. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, got a couple things to record, then play some Requiem. Yeah, it was a productive morning. Good stuff. All right. Take care, y'all. You're all awesome. I appreciate the support. See you later.